Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Angie's Angles. It is October the 30th in the year of our Lord 2025. It is Halloween Eve for those keeping track at home, and I know you are. We are broadcasting live from Smoke Therapy, 215 Ronkonkoma Avenue, Ronkonkoma, New York. If you're ever in the neighborhood, stop by. Cigars on me. Harold, I am interstatal. So, Harold, we're going to talk tonight about the 2025 World Series. A World Series, to be honest with you, Harold, that I did not think I would enjoy. And it's really brought us a lot of energy, a lot of records being broken, a lot of stars stepping up to the plate and the mound, producing extraordinary results. The Blue Jays currently sit at 3-2 with the best of 7 game series. They're headed back to Toronto for the final 2 games of the World Series for 2025, with the momentum clearly on their side. Clearly. Nick Troiano repping Adelphi University. Hey, Nick, what's going on, my friend? Thank you. So let's digest some of the numbers. And I kind of like, Harold, classic is an excellent word to use for this World Series. We've had everything. We've had the second longest game in World Series history, 18 innings. It was 5 hours and change. I believe it was the 2021 Dodgers also involved that had an 18 game that went 6 hours and change. So it's been really dynamic. Say what you want about the Dodgers and the Ohtani contract and the Ohtani gambling scam, scheme, whatever you want to call it, deflection. But in that 18-inning game, Ohtani got on base 9 times. 9 times. You don't see that happen every day. And let's talk about Yesavage. As I wrote up in my little commentary, for those that want to read it later, Yesavage is the first Major League ball player in history to have pitched at every level of the Blue Jays minor league system and to make it into the World Series. I mean, this kid's on a ride and a half and 3/4, for God's sakes. I mean, I think he's waking up every day pinching himself because he can't believe this is real. It's a dream that every kid has. It's a dream that all of us have, the frustrated athletes that we've become, the diehard baseball fans that we are. It's just been extraordinary, to be honest with you. And what I want to open up, the chat today, and I want to have some interactive convo with you, with the Angie Angles family of network of friends. But let's digest some of the numbers if we can. So this might come as a little bit of a surprise. The batting averages between the Blue Jays and the Dodgers. The Blue Jays are hitting 261 in the World Series, compared to the Dodgers 201. Quite the pedestrian average. And that's a testament not only to the Blue Jays starters, but also their bullpen, who has shown some moxie, if you will, albeit they lost the 18-inning game, and Clayton Kershaw produced his swan song. First ballot Hall of Fame, and no doubt about it. And it was good to see Clayton Kershaw walk away from his career with a positive outing in the playoffs, especially the World Series, as we all know that Clayton's postseason record is very subpar for his career record. And it's a good thing that Hall of Fame careers are not defined by what you do and don't do in the playoffs. It certainly doesn't hurt if you rise to the occasion in the playoffs, but there's no doubt about it that Clayton Kershaw is one for the record books. The home runs will surprise you. The Dodgers actually have hit 8 home runs compared to the Blue Jays 7. And here's a funny, and this is probably because of last night and Yesavage. The Dodgers have struck out 55 times compared to the Blue Jays 44. So that's not too bad. I mean that's pretty low numbers compared to the 18 inning game. So what'd you have? You have 5 games. You had 4 go 36 innings. You had another 18, and what is that? 54 innings. So that's for the Dodgers is strike out an inning that they're doing, and the Blue Jays are under that by a tick. Never-ending saga. I am duo in a state. Thanks for that stat, Kevalytics. The Dodgers, all their home runs have been solo shots except for 1. So that's a good point, Kev. I appreciate you. The RBIs are also pretty close. 28 RBIs for the Blue Jays and 24 for the Dodgers. Now, the Dodgers, surprisingly perhaps, they're not playing good defense. They're making errors at a pretty alarming rate. They're not sharp on the field. Whereas the Blue Jays in that double play, not the double play, but the play where the throw went to first, Guerrero jumped off the bag and threw right on the money at third base to get a sliding Dodger out. That was amazing. That was absolutely amazing. No, I didn't say runs, Kev. I said RBIs, but thank you for the correction. The Dodgers have 24 RBIs, Kevin. Thank you, though. Maybe we need to listen just a little bit on Angie's angles because Angie's angle stats don't lie. So I want to hear some of your feedback. It looks like we've got 5 live folks on. Mark Brooks, my brother from another. How are you, pal? What's going on, Mark? Hey, Mark, just a side note. I'm very sorry we could not hook up when you were in Connecticut visiting your family and your dad. Work has got me bogged down like you wouldn't believe. But we will do that one time soon, my friend. Yesavage. Let's talk about this kid. I mean, there's 2 sides to this story, in my humble opinion. There's Yesavage where, at a couple of stops along the road to the big show, he had a 4 ERA, struggling a little bit. But credit the Blue Jays for seeing lightning in the bottle and giving this kid a shot. I mean, and it was a design for him to start game 1 so he was available for game 5. Now, I called the Blue Jays in 5. I'm going to come up short on that, obviously, since game 5 was concluded last night. But if we took that 18-inning game, and there were many, many chances to score a run, a gazillion chances to score a run for both sides, and it took that Freddie Freeman, don't you know, to hit the go-ahead home run to put the Dodgers in the victory column. So, you can't count the Dodgers out. Not with the likes of Muncy, Edmonds, Will Smith, and of course Ohtani. Now Mookie Betts 3 for 23 in the World Series. I think somebody forgot to ring his alarm clock to let him know that he was playing in the World Series. He's been an absolute non-factor. However, Clement for the Blue Jays, Barger for the Blue Jays, you would say, who are these guys? These guys are not run-of-the-mill household names outside of Toronto, perhaps, and or the American League East. A casual fan like myself of the American League, which I don't really follow and cover all that well, knowing that I'm a New York Met fan, I'm a National League guy, and this is one of the rare occasions where I'm rooting for an American League team to win the World Series because I just despise. I it's a harsh word and I don't want to use it, but I'll stick to despise to satisfy the crowd. I vehemently despise the Los Angeles Dodgers. Now they pan the stadium, and you got, this actor, that actor. They arrive in the third inning, they leave by the seventh. They're not fighting the traffic. Believe you me. Fair weather friends, we call those fans. Fair weather fans. So, Ohtani looked somewhat pedestrian last night in his at-bats, and his pitching performance the other night was also subpar for Ohtani's ability. So we go to a game 6 tomorrow night. I believe Gausman's going, and I'm not quite sure who's going for the Dodgers. I could look that up real quick unless somebody knows that answer. But let me do the math. Let me do that. Hold on one second. Tomorrow's match. Oh, Yamamoto, who again, I'm sorry, Yamamoto, that 9-inning classic. Holy smokes! If you had Yamamoto in 9 innings on your bingo card, you win. Kevin, I would advise you to double check your numbers only because I took that off the World Series stats that Major League Baseball provided. I'll stand corrected. If you could screenshot or give me that correction, I'll correct myself, but I'm pretty positive. And you know what? Let's take a moment and digest. Let me go back to it. Let me see. Here we go. Give me a minute. I'm sorry, it was Baseball Reference, Kev, that I used for my information. And I'm here now, and I'm looking at the RBIs. Kevin, I stand corrected, my friend. I looked at the walks column. You are 100% correct. 17. Good job, Kev, for correcting Angie's angles here tonight. And let me just make sure that I had the right stats for the Blue Jays, because I guess when I scrolled, it clicked over. But the RBIs, I was correct on the Blue Jays RBIs at 28. So 28 and 17, that's a pretty big disparaging number. And I owe Kevin Analytics the correction, so thank you so much. So 11 more RBIs for the Blue Jays. Yamamoto. Yeah, Kev. I'll put you on the big screen. Kevin Analytics is usually always correct. I should never doubt him. The man is just a machine when it comes to stats and seeing things that the rest of the people don't know. Dana, what's going on, hon? Dana. Smoke Therapy represented by Dana. We appreciate you, Dana. Thank you so much. I'm going to reach out to you, Dana, very shortly, and we're going to pizzazz and jazz up Angie's angles with your help, and I appreciate you. You have tiramisu in the horizon for yourself, guaranteed. No problem, Dana. Thank you so much for jumping on Angie's angles. You just brought the class up 10 levels, if you know what I mean. So I want to hear your thoughts and your comments about the next two games. Does Toronto blow out the Dodgers tomorrow night against Yamamoto? Now, Yamamoto, 9 innings, the longest he's ever pitched in a season, the most pitches he's ever thrown, the whole 9 yards. Is he going to have a dead arm tomorrow night? Is he going to be sharp like he was in that 9-inning complete masterpiece? I mean, he could have struck out Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, and anybody else you want to throw. Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, Joe DiMaggio, Mickey Mantle. And it's funny how I reference Skankies, but those guys were the greats of the greats, if you know what I mean. I mean, I think Yamamoto would have struck out Tony Gwynn, for God's sakes. Jays in 6, Harold saying. So we're going to end on Halloween, Harold. That'd be a That'd be fine with me. That would be fine with me because that means that the Dodgers would receive coal in their Halloween bag. A little reference to the Peanuts. So, yeah, Mark Brooks, you're right about this. And this is what bothers me about Major League Baseball, right? The entire season, you incorporate the ghost run at second base and extra innings. But you don't include it in the postseason. So again, if you're doing basic accounting, column A is a positive, column B is a negative, and at the end it balances out. They got, it was a rock, Harold. Thank you. Not a piece of coal. I guess I'm thinking about what's in my stocking at Christmas time. Ha! That's right. It was a rock. That's very funny, Harold. Thank you. So the lame ghost runner is not active in the playoffs, but the two disengagement is, the pitch clock is, all these nonsenses that turn Major League Baseball into Major League Softball, for God's sakes. Unacceptable in my book. Rob Manfred can't get out of town fast enough. And while we're on the subject, let's do it. Rob Manfred hates baseball. Rob Manfred hates baseball. Rob Manfred hates baseball. And there goes my coughing because I get excited. And my blood pressure rises. Eric Schuster, I appreciate your contributions, but you got to get off the the wagon, my friend. That's never going to happen. You can hold your breath and whistle Dixie. Trevor Bauer's done. He got railroaded. We'll all agree to that. He got bamboozled, if you will. He got blackballed. Whatever adjective you want to throw in front of Trevor Bauer's name, feel free. Because Rob Manfred, the Los Angeles Dodgers, is just another reason to hate the Dodgers. Just another reason. They dumped a ton of money on this kid, kept him from New York, and he had false allegations levied against him. And the Dodgers, instead of standing behind that guy, broke camp faster than the 407 7th. If you know what I mean. They bugged out on the poor guy. So Trevor Bauer, nice to have known you while it lasted. Good luck with your Japanese career, etc., etc., etc. So we're at the 8:47 mark on Angie's Angles. Before we go into the prayer circle, a happy birthday shout out to Tommy Snacks out here in the lounge. His buddy John threw him a little birthday bash. Mike, owner of Cigar Therapy, cooked up some burgers and dogs, and they had this baked bean dish tonight that was outstanding. I think there was some chopped up pork in it. I never let a pork and bean go by without consuming at least a gallon of it. It was delicious. As soon as we're done here, we're going to go out and have some birthday cake. Kevin Lennox, yes. But yet the Dodgers let criminals play. And I'm assuming that you're talking about one Ohtani, Shohei Ohtani, who let his best buddy, his translator, take the fall for him. His best buddy serving out his prison sentence in Club Med, 3 squares a day, conjugal visits, badminton at noon, swimming in the evening. I mean, it's just awful. Absolutely awful. Absolutely awful. I mean, and let's talk briefly about this gambling scenario. Now we're hearing that it's NBA players, perhaps NBA players and NFL players. And don't think for a second that it's more widespread than that. I possibly think that the only sport not affected could be hockey. Because that'd be a hard game to rig for sure. Without seeing, Harold, homemade beans with pork belly any day of the week. I'll take 2, please, and thank you. So we're kind of getting geared up for the general managers meetings, the winter meetings, the owners meetings. We're gonna have the GM meetings in Vegas, the owners meetings in New York, and then the winter meetings will be out in Orlando. So, it's going to be exciting. What is it? 10 games after the last World Series game is when free agents are allowed to negotiate. So we'll have about a week and a half of kind of calm before the storm. And we've got a big free agency crowd this year, topped by a bunch of people. Schwarber, Alonso, Edwin Diaz, to name a few. Now, there's a free agent out there that I brought up on Angie's Angles not that long ago. And David Stearns being the bounty hunter, the bargain basement searcher, Filene's bargain basement. Lucas Giolito is a free agent. I would not mind at all taking the flyer on one Lucas Giolito for depth. I wouldn't necessarily tag him to be in the rotation to start the season unless he has lights out spring training, and then he's certainly part of the mix. But one Lucas Giolito could become your swing guy in the bullpen. So it's going to be interesting how the offseason plays out. We'll bring you up to date breaking news as we normally do, and we'll cover it. All right, it's 8:51. I know Mark Brooks is going to be a little sour. We went extra. Hey, Clark, what's going on, brother? Thanks for joining us. I appreciate you. We're going to go into our prayer circle a little early because there's some cake to be had in the lounge. Harold likes Lucas Giolito for the Cubbies as well. I wouldn't mind it either, and Hoyer loves the reclamation project. Clark, never late in my book, my friend. Never. Okay, Harold, we're praying for Dawn Squared, Carol and Bob, and your buddy Jerry. Terry Sanchez, as you battle upper respiratory infection. We're praying for your mom's legs and keeping your mother-in-law and your uncle's memory in our hearts. Antoinette Brooks, we're praying for your brother Mike as he searches for that kidney. Scott Tobias, we're praying for your wife and your mom. Linda Stein, we're praying for you, young lady, your dad, your mom, your family, your grandchildren. And Linda Stein wants us to pray for humanity and the universe. And boy, can't we use more of that. Kevin Elliott, we're praying for your physical and mental health issues. Just kidding on the mental ones, Kev. You drive me crazy every day. Maybe it's my mental health issues. Krause family, as we celebrate Aubrey remaining in remission from cancer. Deb and Lee down in Maryland, we're praying for you, Lee. Marianne Bello, drop me a note. We got to talk. We're praying for you and your mom out there in Las Vegas. Larry Levy, we're praying for your wife, Frida, as she too remains in remission against her battle with cancer. Mr. McGowan, sir, we have your 6, my friend. Ralph, smoke therapy buddy, we're praying for you. Peter Shani down in Florida, we're praying for you guys with your new startup. Tom, welcome back to the lounge. We're praying for you as you still battle your pneumonia. You're at the tail end. You're almost over it. And we're praying for Pat. Big John, we're praying for friend Irene. And Emily and Paul's wedding last week, we hear was a resounding success. Joe Echeverry, we're praying for you, my friend, with your heart condition. West Coast Dave Prince, as you battle your blood disorder. We hope they find the cause of it. Johnny Barbecue. God, it was nice to see you the other day, but he's still battling sciatica, and God knows I know all about that. Johnny W., we pray for Elizabeth. John V., we're praying for your father-in-law. We're praying for my cousin, Mary Ann, down in Virginia. She had leg surgery 2 weeks ago. And happy birthday to my goddaughter, Ava Gabrielle Solomon. Turned to the ripe old age of 21. So happy birthday, Ava. We love you from Angie's Angles. Clark wants us to pray for the government to open before Saturday so that the stores don't get pilfered. Sounds like it could get ugly. Now, I have unvetted inside information that says that they're going to make the SNAP payment. They're gonna release some money so the SNAP payments can continue. Unvetted inside information. You heard it here first from Angie's Angles. That's going to be dropping tomorrow or Saturday, the latest. We'll turn in next Thursday to find out if that was actually correct or not. So without further ado, I'll say goodnight to you all. I'm sorry, Mark Brooks. I'm ending it about 4 minutes too early for you. I understand that. This has been Angie's Angles coming to you live from Smoke Therapy, 215 Ronkonkoma Avenue. Good night. God bless. I love you.